Hi there, Leander here. Welcome to session 1 of 3 of UNLOK's strategy sessions. And in this one, we'll start speaking about and understanding practice development strategy principles. Let's tackle some definitions first. What is strategy to you as a professional? Strategy is simply the development of a set of actions that'll make your firm's services more valuable to clients than competing firms. That's according to David Maister in the late 80s at Harvard. So think about it. 2 words emphasized there: actions and value, right? Actions and value. It's not about talking and it's not so much about planning. Hopium is not a strategy. One of my favorite authors says, Keith Cunningham, in his book, The Road Less Stupid. What does he mean? It just means you can't hope that the market will turn or that the economy will improve or that interest rates will drop. Okay? You have to start thinking and perhaps even rethinking your strategic choices, because the place where your practice is now is the result of a choice that you made previously. You chose to practice in a specific field, right? May not have been a cognizant choice, but strategy in essence is choosing to say no to certain types of work so that you can say yes to those types of work that fall within your kill zone or your niche area field of expertise. If you want to consider what choices you need to make, these are 4 that you can consider, and it comes from the book Playing to Win by Lafley and Martin. Number 1, what does winning look like to me? Secondly, where will I play, meaning the markets? Thirdly, how will I differentiate myself and what will be my competitive advantage? That answers the question how you'll win. And lastly, what strengths and capabilities do I need to acquire, develop, or improve, and which will I play to? In other words, where will I play to my strengths and what strengths will I play to, rather? So you could start off by just identifying the challenges you face. You all face challenges, whether it's time, lack of skills, the whirlwind of busyness. It could be a number of others, maybe even a lack of accountability. What are those challenges you face? Write them down and face them. And then secondly, consider what strategy you want to implement. Remember, it's your practice and it's your strategy that you should want to implement. And then thirdly, decide what actions you're going to take to enhance the value of your practice. Right. Let's have a look at these 3 concepts: segmentation, profitability, and competitiveness. Now, you may ask me, what is segmentation or why segmentation? A different way of asking this question is to say, where do you do business? Where do you practice? In which areas of the market? If you're practicing or trying to practice in all areas of the market, I have some bad news for you. There's a saying, you can try to sell to everyone and you end up selling to no one. And I've seen it to be true in the legal field as well. So if we apply the thinking that Wilfred Pareto, the father of the Pareto principle, introduced to us, we'll realize that 80% of our profits and cash come from only 20% of our activities. I've seen it. I've worked with firms and I've analyzed their activities, and this is true in the legal field as well. And if you had to apply the 80-20 principle to itself, 64% of your profits and cash can come from only 4% of your activity. It's phenomenal if you think about it. Such a small input leads to almost 2/3 of your profits and cash. Isn't it worthwhile finding out where those segments are where you're actually making money? Segmentation, according to Richard Koch, is also the key to understanding and driving up profitability. And what would you want more than that to drive up your profitability? Okay, so why profitability? Why this focus on that? Well, let's ask it this way. Which segments of your business are profitable? Do you even know? Are there areas of your business which you more or less you have a gut feel you're making good money there and the costs are not exceeding the income or the fees? Well, it's undoubtedly true that the best way to start making money is to stop losing money, says Richard Koch. Think about it. If you have a segment of your business or a segment of your practice that's losing money, wouldn't it just be smart to stop doing that type of work immediately? You'd be better off because every hour you're spending, you're detracting from your operating profit. I'll need some inputs from you as we work together, and I built some templates to help you. So firstly, you're going to identify your practice segments. You're going to help me. I don't know what your practice segments are. You're going to tell me. Different services for different types of clients. And you can pause the video and have a look at this template that I built and look at the columns that I've specified there and start completing it on your own. Then you're going to look at the time and distribute your available time, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, across those segments that you've identified. And here's a template that can show you what that looks like. And then you're going to ask yourself, but which of these segments are actually making money? And that's where I'll come in. We'll analyze your financials and we'll do a deep analysis. And we'll also check which ones are losing money and help you to get those in clear focus. And here's a template of the analysis that we'll do together. Now, you may then also ask, but why talk about competitiveness so much, Leander? Well, if you remember the definition, it referred to competitiveness, right? Developing a set of actions that makes your firm's services more valuable to your clients than those of your competitors. And that's why we look at competitiveness. So you could also ask, in which segments are you competitive? Meaning, if you don't have a competitive advantage, I just want to remind you, this is what Jack Welch said, don't compete. So without a competitive advantage, meaning if you can't be number 1 or 2 in the market in that area, then you shouldn't really compete there. So we'll ask, how attractive and well-positioned are your competitive segments to the market? Because they should be attractive. And here's a simple template that I built. And pause the video, feel free to have a look and have a bash at completing this template. To summarize, these are some of the insights that you'll gain in addition to the ones that I've already shared with you. You'll understand what is the 20% of your practice segments that leads to 80% of your revenues and profits. You'll understand in which segments you're making money and which segments you're losing money. And lastly, you'll also know where you can compete for work based on an attractive market segment. Stay tuned for my next session, speaking about embracing simplicity and building a simple and profitable business. Thanks for watching.